welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And one of the questions that I get almost every day is, how do I increase my swing speed? Well, the first thing I want to do is take you through a few things that kind of must happen in order to have speed in the first place. So the first one is we have to realize that when you're talking about speed, we're talking about the face of this club. Now, my body may have something to do with it, my hands, wrists, and arms, but the main thing that we're looking at is the speed in the face of this club, and how do we get speed into this face the right way. So when I add speed, I don't want the ball to go offline. How do I add speed and still make the ball go online? So the very first thing is, again, we've got to have a good grip, right? So in the fingers and over, right? So it's just how my hand hangs in its shoulder socket, and then my right hand goes right on the back of that. The reason is so when the club comes down into the ball, that the face will square up, and my right arm can compress the ball. So square face and compression, that's a big reason. The other one is how my wrists work, right? How these levers work, going back and forth. That's a major speed producer. How my hands work. The next is how my arms work, softly in their shoulder sockets, right? So my arms have to be able to move independently of their shoulder sockets, just like my hands have got to be able to move independently as well. I've got to be able to feel how the weight of the club is moving my hands, so I've got this effortless speed right here. As soon as I lock everything up in my arms and my wrists and my shoulder sockets, now I have to turn my body, which it's not moving that fast in the swing. This is what's moving fast. This is where we want the speed. Okay, so after we do a couple swings, starting to feel that, so my wrists go back and my arms start to work independently. So I'm starting to already get some pretty good speed with not a lot of effort. And so once my body starts turning, so I get here and my body starts to turn, the arc becomes bigger, and aligned with those levers and soft arms, I can create quite a bit of speed. Now, that's how we build speed. So getting speed or maximum speed out of that equation, that's where I think the big question lies, and that's where some of these systems can be very helpful if they're used correctly. So the first thing I want to do, now that we kind of have an idea of where speed comes from, is how do we add it safely? Well, I can tell you that there's only a short amount of distance where the speed is going to go up, where I'm starting to press the gas where the speed is going up. Where it's not going up, or where the speed is going to be the same no matter what shot I'm going to hit, is as I swing back is going to be the same speed. As I change direction is going to be the same speed. But once the club gets right in here, and my left leg can push away and these levers can work, that's where the speed's going to be the difference. Okay, so I'm going to make some swings at a little bit different speed. So it's going to be the same, and a little bit faster depending on how much this leg pushes back and accelerates the club. That's how we add speed safely. The reason is, see, I can go out here and just make my body move as fast as I want. And if I'm not paying attention to the club, the ball's going to go everywhere. But more than likely, if I just try to turn on it as hard as I can, not only is the club going to get out of sync with the inside part of my circle, but it's not really doing much. It really has no effect on the club. I may be trying really hard, but it's not doing anything for the club face. So I have to make sure that what I'm doing with my body is matching these circles, one, and adding speed to the club. So as I would go back, I've got to change direction anyway, so there's not any more speed here, right? Then in my transition, what my transition is primarily there to do is get the club back in front of me, or get the club back on the right arc. From here, once the momentum of the club is on the right arc, I can make this left leg push back and accelerate the club face. So I'm going to make a couple swings, and you'll see that the speed happens only when I get the club in front of me, and then I can go. It's not here and from the top and go, or change in direction, because typically what's going to happen is I'm going to outrace the face of the club. See, it's the golf club is not going to be in a position to add speed safely, what I like to call. We may be able to add speed to it, but we might not be able to find our golf ball after we hit it. So I'll make a couple practice swings. So if I just went at one speed, we'd go back, change directions, and go. Right? So we go back, change direction. You can see the club gets down in front of me, and then my left leg pushes back, and it helps accelerate the club. So I'll hit one here. So again, as I go back, you'll see the acceleration and where that happens. So the acceleration doesn't happen until I get the club about right here, and then it pushes back and I go. So now I'll add a little more speed to this shot. So it's going to be the same here, the same here. Once the club gets about right here, the momentum gets right in here, I push back and let my hands go. So we'll go a little harder on this one here now. Okay, now I'll give it a little more gas. So the only thing that I'm feeling different is that once I change directions and get the club back in front of me, again, my left leg's pushing away and it's accelerating the club. And if I need to hit it farther than that, I've got more clubs. So adding speed, yes, we want speed and we need to be able to add speed. But first we need to understand where speed comes from. And then we need to understand how do we add speed safely, so when we do add speed, the ball doesn't go offline so far that we can't get it in play. So I hope this helps you understand, again, where speed comes from and how to add speed safely. So yes, there's so many things out there that we can do with technology nowadays to add speed. We just got to make sure that we're doing the right one so it doesn't hurt our golf game more than it helps us. Hi everyone, like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf, for all tips on golf. If you'd like a live lesson or want to send me a message, visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com.